Hello everyone, and welcome to the weekend recap, the most important part of a balanced start to the week. But definitely one of the least important things in the world, in reality, because before we begin, I just wanted to send my condolences and strength to everyone affected by the earthquake in Turkey and Syria. I've linked to a fundraiser below, Hassan's fundraiser, which will help to support Care Turkey, Care Syria, AKUT, and ABAP charities. If and only if you can afford to give anything to help support the rescue and reparation efforts there, then consider doing so. Again, strength and support to everyone affected. Hard pivot here, but let's start with the good stuff in Germany as Union Berlin went away to RB Leipzig. In Union, you have some fellas that shocked the league at the beginning, but hit some poor form in the fall and fell off. Pun intended, cringe all you like, to allow Bayern to overtake them, but have since found themselves again, and they're looking quite beautiful, in my opinion. In RB Leipzig, you have Marco Rose's side also going on an incredible run since the fall, and upon meeting Union, were 18 matches unbeaten. 14 wins and 4 draws, so they were hot and spicy coming into this fixture. The revenge of Marco Rose is being felt in the Bundesliga. And they started very well, taking the lead in what was a seemingly innocuous way. Andre Silva controlling the ball in the middle and spraying it wide to the left wing back Henrichs. He cut inside on his defender and curled one in at the near post. A great shot that came out of nowhere, really. As you can see, it had to be something special to beat the keeper at the near post from this position. But Union came alive following that, with Geraldo Becker hitting a warning shot towards the end of the first half. That one zipped past the post, but that was just that, a warning shot for what was to come from Union. When I say I love Union's equalizer, oh man, I mean a half clearance from the corner drops to the edge of the box, and before it even touches the ground, Haberer smashes it past the keeper. Stunning strike from Haberer, which set up Union to go ahead and take it all. 10 minutes later, a penalty is awarded to Union, and Knoche put it down the middle. 2-1 Union. They find their way back into this game, just as they found their way back into this Bundesliga season. Massive win away from home. And the good vibes continue with Borussia Dortmund. With those good vibes come wins. Nothing but wins in 2023, and they continued that great form as they went away to Füllkrug FC, and through the influence of Jude Bellingham in this match, got a 2-0 win. What a roving run from centre-back Nico Schlotterbeck before laying it off to the young English winger Jamie Bino Gittens. A nice smash from the kid just 60 seconds after he had stepped onto the pitch. Lovely impact, and that set the stage for a second goal in this win for Borussia Dortmund, their 6th in a row. Hoffenheim continued to struggle as they invited Xabi Alonso and Leverkusen to their home, only to fall behind after just 6 minutes. And by the 56th, they were 3-0 down. Not great. Jeremy Frimpong with 2 assists in 9 minutes. Florian Wirtz set up the first one, and it's really great to see him back and contributing for Leverkusen in 2023. That's his 2nd assist in 5 appearances as he tries to find his form again following that very lengthy injury he had. Bochum versus Bayern, and while they survived last season, things are looking pretty difficult for Bochum this season. Mind you, seeing them lose to Bayern isn't exactly a surprise despite that fantastic 4-2 win that they got against them last season, which was one of the biggest surprises of that term. Anyways, this time around, it was plain sailing for the Rekordmeister. Sommer with just a single save to make. Thomas Muller took advantage of a poor pass back to the keeper. Nearly made a mess of it, but he was able to swivel and turn the ball into the empty net eventually. In the second half, a sweeping attack from Bayern saw Goretzka and Musiala combine, and the young German rolled the ball wide to Coman to smack it through the keeper's legs, and a penalty won and converted by Gnabry finished things off to make it 3-0. SC Freiburg returned to the wins with a close victory over Stuttgart. They had to come from 1-0 down at home and got the victory thanks to 2 penalties from Vincenzo Grifo. More work to be done there for Freiburg. A late collapse from Borussia Mönchengladbach saw them go from losing to losing. Crazy, eh? Playing away to Hertha, they were losing 2-1, and 2 late goals made it 4-1. Eintracht Frankfurt surprised me, man. They were thrashed 3-0 by this Köln side that are suddenly taking names in the Bundesliga. That means that Frankfurt fall out of the top 5, where Bayern has a 1-point lead still, and Dortmund are not far off either. Hey, shout out Real Madrid for winning the Club World Cup. I thought I'd mention that prior to getting into the La Liga action. They won the trophy for the 8th time with a 5-3 victory over Al Hilal. Quite the second half, man. 5 goals from these two teams during that second half. Anyway, their neighbors Atletico Madrid went away to Celta de Vigo, a team that is struggling a bit this season, but is always capable of handing their opposition a very difficult test, just as Stefan Savic is capable of handing his own team a very difficult test. The man got a red card, again, his third red card in his last 5 appearances, 3 in his 35 days. Maybe that's a new goal of his, to speedrun the La Liga record for the most red cards in a calendar year. I mean, he's well on his way. So shout out to the Montenegro international. He's killing it. Anyway, luckily his teammates were up for the challenge as Jan Oblak looked like the Oblak of old, making some fantastic saves to keep Atletico in the game. Carrasco had his shot deflected and it fell kindly to Depay, but take nothing away from the way that he swiveled and rolled it past the keeper. Well taken from the man who moonlights as a rapper. And I'm getting tired of wasting my time. Hey, what a time to get your first Atletico goal. 89th minute winner from Depay. Massive for Atleti, but more pain for Celta. I hope they survive, man. Speaking of survival, Sevilla have strung a few positive results together. Well, they've won 3 out of their previous 4 matches. This weekend giving Mallorca the 1-2, and misterE keeps on scoring for them. He opened things in the 28th minute while Bryan Gil, the former current Sevilla player, know what I mean? Or the current former Sevilla player. He's a Sevilla player, let's say that. He scored the second goal in their 2-0 win. Things are not getting any better for Valencia. Gattuso gone. The fans hate the ownership more than ever and are cooking them as they deserve to be cooked. And with another loss, they keep on slipping into relegation. I'm sorry for subjecting you to that, but it couldn't have been worse than what Valencia continues to subject their incredible supporters to. Playing at home, they fell 2-1 to Athletic Club as they squandered a 1-0 lead. The Williams boys had their fingerprints all over this victory for the Basque club, with Nico scoring the equalizer, his 4th of the season to go with his 4 assists, while his older brother Iñaki set up the winner, scored by Oihan Sanset, for his 3rd assist in 2 matches. Poor Valencia, man. They need to see the backside of Lim. Metaphorically speaking, of course. Sorry for the gross image. The team that consistently has the sexiest kits, in my opinion, Real Betis, came out on top in a fantastic 5-goal thriller at Almeria's Power Horse Stadium. What a name. I know it's a sponsor. I know, but come on, what a name. Anyway, the Power Horse brought the fire this weekend as Almeria went stride for stride with Betis, but the power of Betis was too much in the end as 2 older heads in Canales and Guardado combined for Betis' winner, perhaps the smallest man on the pitch. I don't know. I don't have any small man statistics for this game. He got his head on Canales' corner to guide it brilliantly into the corner for the winner. Lovely stuff from the Mexican legend. Is it too much to call Guardado a Mexican legend? Mexicans, tell me. I mean, he has certainly had one of the most high-profile careers as far as Mexicans go. I mean, the level he has played at, the Bundesliga, La Liga, he's up there for sure, no? Cadiz jumped out of the relegation places with a 2-0 win over Girona. Cadiz, by the way, looks like an incredible city. I would love to visit it. I mean, just look at this. This is insane. And editor Adrian has the Barca match for you, as well as the scores and standings.
Yo, editor Adrian here. So, Barcelona won once again. This time they beat Villarreal. And who else but Pedri to get the goal for Barcelona? I saw some stats from Opta Jose that are just insane. I mean, his last 15 shots, this is at the time of scoring that goal, his last 15 shots on target, 10 of them have been goals. That's crazy. Only 5 have been saved. And on top of that, no player has won more points for his team with his goals than Pedri Gonzalez in La Liga this season with 10 points. Pretty amazing. He's a clutch player. And Barcelona's lead over Real Madrid is now 11 points. Real and Barcelona are definitely looking like they could really pull away from the chasing pack. I mean, Real Sociedad also has a match in hand. Real has a match in hand. So if both of those teams win, they're behind by 14 and 8 points respectively. But still, an 8-point lead or full out 11 points, Barcelona are killing it right now.
Well, Juve versus Fiorentina was a fun match. Juve look a lot better with Di Maria out there. He set up the first and only goal of this match. The only goal that stood. Di Maria's cross to Rabiot was nearly saved by Fiorentina's Terracciano. Stunning ball by Di Maria. Good powered header by Rabiot. And the goal line decision system said it was a goal. In the second half, Di Maria and Locatelli did some good work down the left, releasing Kostic through the middle, and he played a lovely through ball to Vlahovic, the Serbian connection. And Vlahovic finished brilliantly with a sliced, chopped finish past the keeper, but it was pulled back for offside. It was an inch or so offside, a rough one because it was a lovely goal. However, one was all they needed. 1-0 Juve over Fiorentina, though Fiorentina will be upset with the goal that was called off right near the end. Look at this offside. Wow. But it may have been called off for a foul on Locatelli anyway. Who knows? Fiorentina are free-falling at the moment, it seems, as Italiano's magic has waned a little bit in 2023. That's 5 matches without a victory in Serie A. Luckily, there was a Coppa Italia victory sandwiched in there, and there's an opportunity to beat Braga in the Conference League for some added confidence and to make me happy. That would be nice. AC Milan got back to winning. The defending champions have struggled a lot this season, and I did a video to explain to you why that has been the case for them, why they have fallen so far this season, so do be sure to check that video out. But with a change to their formation against Inter, they rolled that out again for this match against Torino on Friday, and they got a victory. 1-0 Milan, Teo setting up Giroud in the second half, and a clean sheet. That's rare for them these days. A Dybala penalty earned AS Roma a draw against Lecce, a tightly contested second half there. Felt like Roma should have put them into the ground in that first half. There was plenty of missed opportunities from Roma, but such is the story of their season. No missed opportunities for Monza, and the Monza excellence continues in Serie A with a 1-0 victory over Bologna. They are now unbeaten in, get this, 8 matches. 4 wins and 4 draws. That's very impressive from Palladino and the fellas, considering they started their season with 5 losses and a draw. Then lost 4 out of 5 matches from mid-October to November 10th, and since then, they haven't tasted defeat, so shout out to the Mozzarellas. That's not their nickname, by the way, at least not in reality. It will be for this show, because I think it sounds great. By the way, they play AC Milan next weekend, Berlusconi and Galliani's new club taking on their old girl. A win there would be remarkable and certainly doable considering AC Milan isn't at full strength. But I mean, who knows though? If that 3 at the back formation continues to hit for Pioli, that would be a great match. Lazio welcomed Atalanta and they will have wished they turned them away at the door. You're not welcome here. Sarri's team has shown some cracks lately. For the most part, they have been decent, but after 2 draws in a row, they fell 2-0 at home against Atalanta. Davide Zappacosta, Chelsea legend, of course, opened the scoring for Gasperini's side with a brilliant curling strike into the top corner. Good work from Lookman, as has been the case all season long. He won't get credited for the assist, but his control on the ball made that goal possible. And the second for Atalanta, scored by Rasmus Winter Højlund. That was the Danes' 5th goal for Atalanta in Serie A, 4 of which have come in 2023. Napoli had a chance to exact revenge on Cremonese, who bounced them out of the Coppa Italia, and of course they got that revenge, as you can see here. All the usual suspects on the score sheet, such as Kvaratskhelia and Victor Osimhen, as they take a 16-point lead over Inter for the time being. Failing a point deduction, can anyone catch Napoli? I mean, they are on course for a huge point haul, as they're averaging 2.68 points per game. Inter, they play against Sampdoria today. Manchester City hit back emphatically after learning on Monday that they were being investigated by the Premier League. Well, that they had been accused by the Premier League, rather. But guys, that's going to be a lengthy investigation. Plenty of people believe that this could take 3 to 4 years once you consider the appeal process in order for them to come to any final decisions. Anyway, to the football. We saw Mahrez assisting for Rodri in a match where Mahrez was really in the ascendancy. There was a ball played in behind for Haaland to run onto, in which he took the ball wide before squaring it to Gundogan at the back post to make it 2-0. Hey, Gundogan with a goal at the back post against Aston Villa, just as he did at the end of last season as well. And finally, the aforementioned Riyad Mahrez converted a penalty that Jack Grealish had won against his former side, 3-0 before the half was up, and while Aston Villa would pull one back through Wknd, City were coasting in the second half. 3-1 the final. Speaking of Manchester, United was held at home by Leeds, but they went away to Elland Road on Sunday, and despite a fairly even match, a late flurry saw them take a 2-0 win with the superb Marcus Rashford scoring yet again. This guy is a completely different kettle of fish under Ten Hag, isn't he? There has just been two matches since he returned from the World Cup that he has failed to have a goal contribution in. That's insane. Every other match, either a goal or an assist. The next generation also got involved as Garnacho showed a great turn of pace before picking out the near post to make it 2-0 United. They also had a goal cancelled off via Weghorst. He's still searching for his first Premier League goal for United. And given the ball came off of a Leeds defender before landing for him, off of their arm no less, perhaps they have reason to feel slightly aggrieved. But still, 2-0 the final. That's all that matters, right? Well, Chelsea looked oh so dangerous in the first half against West Ham, putting the ball in the back of the net 3 times, but 2 of which were offside, one for Havertz, one for João Felix. They only managed to draw away to West Ham. These fellas are improving, namely João Felix and Enzo looking really good out there for them, but they cannot get results over the line still. 1 win in 8 matches is not good enough, but certainly some positives to take away from the performance. Tough match coming up against Borussia Dortmund, away no less. Arsenal dropped points again, as perhaps teams are starting to smell blood in the water with Arsenal, and this bobble could have just caused a little teeny tiny ripple of doubt in their squad following that loss to Everton. We'll see. They drew Brentford 1-1 this weekend, but it was a controversial one. Norgard was offside, and apparently the VAR guy forgot to draw the lines for this one. The incompetence is brutal if that's true, and that could definitely affect their title charge. Their North London rivals Tottenham went away to Leicester, a side that is improving, but is far away from the team that they were a few seasons ago when they were regularly fighting for top 4, you know? With this in mind, the 4-1 loss that Tottenham suffered away to the Foxes is a pretty brutal result for Conte's side, who you just simply cannot trust to stay in form these days. To their credit, that's the second match in a row that Leicester has scored 4 goals after they beat Aston Villa 4-2 last time around as well. Some great goals from Leicester. That screamer from Mendy was nice, man. Straight into the top corner on the near side. Wow. What a way to cancel out Bentancur's opener. And 2 minutes after that, Maddison put them ahead with an assist from Iheanacho, and Iheanacho put them out of reach in the first half stoppage time, making it 3-1. Barnes had a goal called off, but later in the second half, Maddison set up Barnes to make it 4-1. Fulham. Willian's solid performances for them continued as he scored a stunner against Nottingham Forest. The ball came to him on the right side of the box. He put the Forest defender on roller skates, then picked out the far top corner with his left boot. He's a sick man. Didn't work at Arsenal, took a sabbatical in Brazil, but is getting it done under Marco Silva for Fulham. 2-0 win there. As we look at the scores and standings, you have Wolves continuing their surge with a 2-1 win over Southampton. Apparently Jesse Marsch is being considered for the now vacant Southampton job. Anyway, Arsenal still have a match in hand as City and United are gaining on them with their victories this weekend. Newcastle got a draw as they fall behind United further, etc., etc. And of course, the Merseyside derby is today. The end. That's all for now, guys. I hope you have been well. The Champions League returns this week, so watch-alongs are in order. I did a preview for the Champions League, by the way, so check that out if you haven't seen it yet. Other than that, be well, guys, and I'll see you in the next video. Ciao.